Good afternoon, Dean James, esteemed faculty and staff, honorable families and friends, and, of course, the brilliant class of 2026. I am humbled and privileged to be standing here today. Thank you to God, first and foremost, my parents, Asghar and Zehra, my three sisters and their families, my grandparents, my in-laws, and my husband, Akil, for cosplaying as a Wharton student this entire time. Classmates, take a look around you and join me in thanking your own families and friends. Class of 2026, I have one last class participation assignment for you. Raise your hand if in the last 2 years you started a new sport and made it your personality, hiked up or skied down a mountain, and lastly, have typed in a group chat the letters ISO. Pretty much all of us. For those unfamiliar, a quick lesson on Wharton terminology. The second an event, like Follies, dance studio, storytellers, is sold out, the free market, our 1,000-person WhatsApp, buzzes with ISO, short for in search of. For example, in the last couple days, texts would read ISO hotel room for parents, or ISO air mattress for parents, depending on what kind of child you have. ISO graduation tassel, ISO a restaurant reservation for literally anywhere tonight. As a Wharton MBA, I have spent 2 years chronically and compulsively in search of, and I have some thoughts on what to search for next. Within and beyond Huntsman, we were in search of the optimal Wharton MBA experience. At preterm, on a random golf course in Delaware, we were in search of our distinct leadership styles. Through global experiences, we were in search of physical, mental, and intellectual pushes that stretched our perceived limits. In the classroom, we were in search of experiential learning to take us from our previous illustrious jobs of consulting and banking to our bigger and better jobs of consulting and banking. We do love banking, Mr. Solomon. Today, the search doesn't stop. The group chat doesn't go quiet. It just changes channels. Will be ISO a promotion, a house, a spouse? ISO is not just a Wharton behavior. It is a life posture. And yet, among the lavish trips, ostentatious galas, and midnight hockey, I've missed the moments that aren't defined by rigid deadlines, urgent pings, or stands full of cheers. I've missed the friendly face that wasn't in my overt network. I've missed showing up when it costs me something and benefits me nothing. I have learned that we must expand our search to authentically human encounters because that is how we will be remembered. Searching solely for the big ticket items overshadows the unassuming yet defining human interactions. The Quran reminds us, you may be provided for from where you do not expect. It was the day of the MIB Ramadan banquet. MIB, to clarify, is the Muslims in Business Club, not Men in Black. The event was sold out, Some people started ISOing tickets. I was locked in on marketing, execution, decor, food, and I stormed through Huntsman and almost walked straight past Pete. You all know Pete Pascarella, the man who sits at the security desk at Huntsman, who's watched us speed walk through the doors at 8:27 a.m. with dark circles from either being punched in fight night or just low on sleep. I asked Pete, "Are you free for the event tonight?" He couldn't take the SEPTA back to South Philly that late, so I offered to call him an Uber. He resisted, saying, "No way, that's $40 you can spend on something better." On the quest to plan a large-scale, fancy event, I forgot about the people who weren't in the group chat. That's what I didn't search for. So whether you're minutes away from being a Wharton alum, or are a loving family member or friend, or at the security desk at the Palestra, we all have the obligation to expand our search. In true Wharton fashion, I have an action item for a refined ISO. Think back and ask why. My 3-year-old nephew Akbar does it relentlessly. Why was I too busy to notice? Why didn't I call? Why didn't I slow down? If our goals are to be on an arbitrary leaderboard, we risk gamifying life instead of living it. Class of 2026, we already led a fundraiser for Pete to go to the Eagles opener. We pooled together for classmates displaced by the 1 a.m. fire at 1919 Market. We showed up when it counted. Let's not overlook these opportunities to lift as we climb corporate ladders, more mountains, and hopefully net worth brackets. I hope we all remain ISO. As graduates of the best business school, we're now ready to search beyond. Thank you and congratulations.